They didn't ask whose seat it was, they just took it. Dragged a black woman out of a VIP chair like she was invisible, like she didn't deserve to exist in their world of wealth and entitlement. Laughter followed. Phones came out. Someone called security. The crowd watched as her dignity was ripped apart in public, second by second. She didn't scream. She didn't beg. She stood there in silence while they enjoyed humiliating her. What none of them realized was this: the woman they were erasing owned the company funding the entire event. And the collapse was about to be immediate. They didn't ask, they didn't hesitate. They simply took the seat. The Grand Meridian Gala pulsed with privilege. Laughter layered over music, cameras roaming for moments worth broadcasting. At a reserved VIP table near the center, Danielle Cross sat quietly, reviewing notes she had been invited to deliver later that evening. Her posture was composed, her attention focused. She didn't need to announce herself. She had built the table everyone was circling. A voice sliced through the music. "You're in our seats." Danielle looked up. A couple stood over her, confidence sharpened into entitlement. Trevor Hale smiled like he owned the room. Lydia Hale didn't bother hiding her irritation. Lydia snapped her fingers at a server. This woman wandered into the wrong section. Trevor reached for the place card and laughed. "Initials only," he said loudly. She probably grabbed it off another table. The card read DC discretion had been requested by the organizers. "This is my assigned seat," Danielle said calmly. Lydia's smile widened. "No, this table is for executives and owners, not staff." Nearby guests turned, phones lifted. The humiliation found an audience. Danielle didn't move. Trevor leaned closer, voice dripping with mock politeness. "Be useful, get us drinks." Laughter rippled outward. Silence from Danielle was mistaken for surrender. Lydia rolled her eyes and raised her voice. "Security." Two guards arrived quickly, already aligned with the wealth in front of them. "Ma'am, you'll need to step away," one said, hand hovering. "I have a right to be here," Danielle replied. Trevor shoved her shoulder. "You have a right to leave." Gasps followed as Lydia grabbed Danielle's arm and yanked her from the chair. Cameras zoomed in. A spectacle was born. Danielle steadied herself. Her voice was quiet. "You're making a serious mistake." They laughed harder. "Oh, please," Lydia scoffed. "The mistake was letting you inside." A guard tightened his grip on Danielle's arm. Then the music died. A commanding voice cut through the ballroom. "Unhand her now." Heads snapped toward the stage. The chairman of Meridian Industries moved fast, panic plain in his eyes. He pushed through the crowd, breathless. "What are you doing to Ms. Cross?" he demanded. The guards released her instantly. Lydia blinked. "Ms. Cross." The room froze as the chairman faced the cameras. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, voice trembling, "allow me to introduce our new Chief Executive Officer and majority shareholder of Meridian Industries, Danielle Cross." The air vanished. Whispers exploded. Phones shook. Trevor's smile collapsed. Lydia's face drained of color. "She's the CEO. They assaulted their own boss. Turn the cameras off." Danielle adjusted her posture and met their eyes. No anger, only consequence. "You decided I didn't belong," she said. "Not because of a seating issue, because of an assumption." Lydia stammered. "We didn't know." "And that," Danielle replied, "is the problem." She turned to the table. "Every person who laughed, recorded, or stayed silent, you chose hierarchy over humanity." Phones lowered, eyes dropped. Trevor tried to recover. "This is a misunderstanding." "You placed your hands on me," Danielle said. "You ordered my removal. You publicly degraded a leader you believed was beneath you." She turned to security. "Escort them to human resources. Termination processing, effective immediately." The ballroom gasped. Lydia panicked. "You can't, my family." "I own the board," Danielle said. Trevor's knees buckled. "Please." "We have children." "Then remember tonight," Danielle said evenly, "when you teach them what respect looks like." Security led them away as cameras captured every step. their confidence unraveled in real time. Danielle moved to the podium. The orchestra remained silent. The room surrendered. When merit is ignored and assumptions rule, she said, organizations rot. She scanned the faces that had mocked her minutes earlier. Starting today, Meridian Industries becomes a place where dignity is not optional. No one breathed. If you choose arrogance over empathy, she continued, you will not work here. If you choose silence while injustice happens, you are the problem. Guilt settled heavy. No applause followed, only understanding. Danielle delivered the final line without raising her voice. Judge me by anything other than my leadership, and you'll learn how replaceable you are. Then applause came, not polite, not forced, real. As the music resumed, the lesson carved itself into the room. Never assume you outrank the person who built the table you're sitting at. Danielle stepped down, unbothered by the chaos behind her. The gala continued, but nothing was the same. Power had revealed itself calmly and publicly. They learned too late what silence really meant. If that moment made your chest tighten, this story was for you. Like this video, share it with someone who's been underestimated and comment where you're watching from. Most importantly, write the word that defines what she reclaimed tonight. Respect, power, dignity, or justice. Subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories where arrogance collapses in public and silence proves dangerous. This channel is for those who refuse to shrink, refuse to explain themselves, and refuse to let humiliation go unanswered. Let the comments show how many of us are done being quiet.